They've already beaten Imperial in a finals recently, all the way across the world in Melbourne. Now, they need to beat them once more on the stepping stone to Rio. Which of these squads is going to take the next step towards the major, John? We're going to find out.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I will have to wait and see as it's going to start right here. Pistol round ongoing. Cello gets a couple, but Hardzao responds at least with one. The bomb has been dropped, but Hardzao should be able to recover it, and he's going to come around the corner right into Fur's crosshair. Fur will take him down. Then he gets traded by PKL, but they still maintain that man advantage, and the space is very tight here to try and take this A site. They're all lurking in this direction.
Fallen's low, though. Bolt's not a whole lot better. Even body shots with the Glock might be enough, and there's still a smoke to try and get this bomb into the cross. Vinny's going to try and catch the timing here, but he hasn't found it. Dooley's not going to get that armor pen, and a long-range fight definitely doesn't favor them. They haven't been able to catch either of these players on, so now a real chance to defend this bomb for paiN. And they'll have withdrawn. There is no smoke. There is actually, but no kit. They'll go for the full 10-second on that defuse if they do go for the tap, and so they opt to not. PKL collecting Era. I love the idea of getting into the smoke. No, he had to do something a little bit creative there, but Imperial hold their nerve.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, Vertigo, it's not really played by Imperial. They don't really have it in their pool, and they've banned it in the past, but I have to feel like they were ready for the possibility of someone bringing it in as a punish pick.
It's been a trap pick. It's been a trap pick, and no team has dared to trip that trap just yet.
Yeah.
But the question now becomes, is it a trap pick because they're ready? Or were they really trying to make everybody think they were prepared for this map, and indeed they were just really desperately hoping it didn't actually come through a veto? Because it would have been the decider last night if we had gone to a 3-map series against Nouns, and Nouns couldn't close on Inferno, so it wound up being the 2-0. But I was very curious to see Vertigo through. I'm glad we're going to get to see it one way or another for Imperial, because I want to know what they're bringing here. It's not been a strong suit of theirs really since the formation of this team. It's been a lot of trouble on the map. Again, one of those things where not exactly something that was around when they were hot and at the top of CS. So it's been an adjustment for this squad. And PKL will adjust Cello's facial features.
Yeah, it's going to take him down. Nice headshot. Good trade from Fur immediately with the MP9 and a 4v4 even numbers. With more than a minute left on the clock, so paiN do not have to commit to this push towards A. They can readjust, and they're thinking about it. What do we do, guys? Do we stay here? Do we go up? No. Looks like they're just going to watch for a flank to come in. Buy some time off the clock. Give Imperial something more to think about. But look at Imperial. Take this space. 3 players are pushing in towards the ramp.
This is going to lead to a really interesting situation. The fast rotations on Vertigo are part of the power of this map, but they're so committed on the Imperial side. Now hearing one player rotate off, this might be the spot. There's the check, though. It's coming back towards A. This is all a ruse. 30 seconds are coming back in, and Imperial still have the bodies here. So paiN didn't necessarily get what they were looking for in terms of rotate. It's only Vinny left to defend the rest of the map, and in the meantime, out into the meat grinder, and with only 20 seconds to spare, they're going to have to try and get the stud. That's the bomb drop forward. Uh-oh. Skullz had the important parcel, and, well, it's all going to be cleaned up. Good for Imperial.
Wow, nothing at all for paiN to speak of in that round. Couldn't even get that bomb planted, and they were just cleaned up once they got to the bomb site. On Vertigo, I mean, paiN hadn't exactly played it before we got here to the Road to Rio Americas. They had only, 0 times over the last 3 months. Then they played against Furia, lost in a very close match, 13-16. And, we saw yesterday, they just took apart ATK 16-6. So they're obviously hoping for more of that success that they had yesterday. But Imperial are looking pretty solid early on. Zevy was part of that success, right? He had 45 or 46 frags yesterday, and he was just so incredibly good, in particular on Dust 2, with that AWP.
Yeah, he dominated. Really did, and it was something that we've been looking for all tournament long. He was a big piece of the Melbourne run.
Yeah.
Not going to be a big piece of this round, though. And you do have to question, for the paiN players, especially for those young, new additions of Zevy and Skullz, is the pressure of playing against legends, of playing against players you grew up watching, players who may have inspired you to play CS the way that you do. Is that way heavy, John?
Probably. There's certainly some pressure on the shoulders of paiN in that regard, as they're just, again, going to get taken apart in this one. I said 45, I meant 42 frags for Zevy, and actually he was tied with Skullz Who was the other
You
player?
know what, John? I'm
wanted
sure
to-
no one will fault you those three.
Well, it works out because I wanted to tie into Skullz' performance as well, who was also slow coming into that ATK match, but he was extremely impactful. Not at the beginning, but in the second half of Dust 2, he awoke, and then it continued on forward into Vertigo.
Well, they'll need some wake-up performances. It's very early days, but it's been a good start for Imperial, and it means that there's some cash in reserve. All the util in the world, and really only the one MP9 in the hands of Fallen as a limitation. So this first gun round, it's a pretty good situation for Imperial. Going to be some presence towards the B steps early on. It seems Vinny dumps a Molotov, but that doesn't catch anything. So no information gained. Might slow down this take. But paiN, based on the posturing, looked like this one might just be pretty straightforward. PKL finds a kill elsewhere. That's huge. Because now Cello out of play means they're going to have to address more attention towards the ramp. You see it's pulling bolts off to focus in towards mid. And now means that Vinny's caught out in the open. He gets one full blinded. That's frankly impressive. But now they are locked out of the site. And unless bolts find something, this could just turn into a save. This is such a tough situation. Whiffed smoke makes it a little easier, a little more viable. And a mortar strike nade might help start things off, but yeah, I don't think Imperial fancy their chances here, and they are going to hold off.
Yeah, what a great take from paiN, getting those opening frags, Skullz and PKL doing the work for the squad, and after that, Imperial just have to fall off. One frag was not enough. I think they were hoping for that nade to connect for something, but of course, just a Hail Mary. Nothing happens, and they immediately fall off. So the whiff smoke doesn't really matter. And paiN will crack the scoreboard with their first proper buy-up.
You do have to acknowledge, I mean, that PKL frag, that one kill, it's just one shot through a smoke, I think, or right on the edge of it, but it makes all the difference. So, Op should be out here. Curious to see what Fallen wants to do with that. He's got the MP9 right now. I mean, some teams just avoid the AWP a little bit more on this map. But it can be such a potent presence in towards ramp and towards the mid-fight. Really eager to see how Imperial wants to deploy it. Again, we just don't have much of an idea. Oh, they're not going to do it. Okay. I'm going to have to wait. They're going to keep that MP9 going in the hands of Fallen. We just don't have that much data on their Vertigo. Not lately. It's been ages since they played it, so I'm curious to see what their approach is going to be. Fallen will hold mid with an MP9 for now, and, well, mid presence looks like that might be what paiN wants to contest. That's not where that molly's supposed to go.
No, definitely
that's not where that's supposed to go. Uh-oh.
Fallen could be in a bit of trouble here, though. He's going to get sprayed down by Big Azera, and then Hardzal finds bolts. All right, mid has been cracked open by paiN. Fer trying to regain that space. He will be smoked off. Big Azera realizing someone might be lurking around the corner, but they don't clear it. Vinny gets two before going down. That makes this retake a little more viable, and you see Imperial sneaking up saying, all right, maybe we can do this. Zevy could end it here, and he does. Headshot found. That means Fer will be on the save.
Yeah, two's not enough. Two's not enough. I was talking, maybe it is. Fer? They're already so far forward on the hunt. No one's close to the bomb. PKL's actually really in a really tough spot if Fer just goes for it.
Oh, no.
He can just stick. He can just stick. Okay.
Yeah.
Zevy fortunately will prevent that from being an issue. That Molotov down, if he just raced and stuck, I actually don't know what would have happened. PKL was not close enough.
Yeah.
He really anticipated the save, maybe just a touch too early.
I think everyone anticipated this.
Yeah, this is an Imperial team that never says die. That's something that Cap Noun's unaware last night. It's definitely something that paiN need to be prepared for here.
Alrighty, 2 rounds in a row here for paiN, but Imperial did go for that because they realized they had another buy in their pockets, so why not take a chance when the opportunity presents itself? Fallen, right here at the top of ramp, looking for a target. What? What? Excuse me?
That looked like a panic flick as he's getting his feet sprayed, and Big Uzera is going to watch that back and be annoyed.
How can you not be?
All right, apparently RNG also wants to see Fallen at the Rio Major, and now his teammates, well, this one's going to be a little bit more dialed in. Flashbang's good there, but Fer somehow is able to just stand in the open. It's come down to a 1v3. Hardzal dealing some damage at the very least, but if he advances towards this site, there's 2 players ready in the defense and 1 fast on the flank. Tough spot for Hardzal. Smoke to provide a little bit of cover, a little room to operate on. Could get a kill. That'd be nice. Might make it more of a possibility to bring through this round. Be 5 seconds. They know he can't have bailed.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the flank on. They know he can't leave. So they can trust their first read. And here's going to come the pepper shots back in. Hides down now, down low. Thinks he has a fight isolated. He's correct about that. But if he actually wants a bomb plant out of this, he'll have to face forward, and Bolts will be ready to meet him.
Oh, it helps when you just hit a flick through the smoke, right?
Yeah! Yeah, I mean, Fallen probably knew once the spam's coming through that there is a boost.
Yeah.
But still, hitting that shot mid-flick is improbable.
Look, he's literally moving his crosshair.
That almost looked like a mouse spin out. Like he hit his keyboard or something. That's what that looked like. My goodness, Fallen. Even when he's under threat, he's still finding kills. That's the up. That's the up factor, John.
I don't think I've seen that before, honestly. Just flicking away and then wow. Yep.
Well,
that's what Fallen can do to you sometimes.
It does feel sometimes like Imperial have plot armor.
Yes.
They've got a little bit of the main character system going on.
Oh, wow.
Big Uzera, though, he's not interested in your narrative devices. He's not interested in your plot armor. He's not interested in who's supposed to be at the major. He wants to be there in Rio in front of the home crowd. Big Uzera, I mean, we've had the interviews. He's playing for his daughter, 2.5 years old. He's playing for his family. He's playing to establish his legacy in Counter-Strike history.
Really wholesome interview. I really enjoyed that one, honestly. I can relate as well.
Yeah, you are a father.
Yes, exactly.
I just have a dog. Slightly different.
Well, you're a dog dad.
Yeah, he does not understand what I do for work, shockingly. Screens confuse him. My girlfriend's been showing him dog TV lately. That's an interesting experience. Zevy! We could add some interesting experiences as well, but for a tuck by Cement, they smoked it, so they should have a good idea. There might be a player in position, but PKL's forward angle, this could be huge, and with his position, I think paiN might be loath to give this up, but the problem is, look at Skullz. Skullz is walking on to B, so if they can get the bomb out of here safely, Skullz
there's only
says,
19 seconds.
Never mind, we're going to have to pinch. Time is of the essence here, so in they go. Fair can upset everything. Fallen's found a kill. Not enough to distract, though, and Fallen knows he's in trouble. 8 seconds, they need to get this bomb down. It's been dropped. It's been dropped, John. The clock is everything. One more kill to find. Fallen, he stays alive long enough. He'll die after the timer, but paiN cannot chase him down.
Oh, what a critical frag found on the bomb carrier, and then they just managed to stay alive. Skullz tries to come in for the backstab, but it's just too late. Fallen tucked himself into a corner. And the fact that Fallen's even alive in that situation is crazy because he was being sprayed down through the smoke and just got around the corner before the last bullet could connect. So a lot of little things in that round going Imperial's way. And you talked about the plot armor, Mike. And again, with rounds like that, it feels that way. It was a 5v3 for paiN going onto that site.
There are so many situations where it feels like Imperial should be up against it, should be at the end of their rope in a round, in a game, in a half, and it's just, it's this man, it's Fallen. Yeah. It's Fallen, who just again and again becomes the difference maker for his team. He is undeniable, it feels, in these situations, and there is a special something, right? We've done the analysis of Counter-Strike to death at this point. Things have been dissected, torn apart, the mechanical skills, the theories, the crafts, the logic. But sometimes there's an extra element. And that element is magic. And that's something that it feels like Fallen commands in spades.
Absolutely. And of course, leading his team in terms of stats as well doesn't hurt. I mean, Fur is a little bit above him, but he's right behind there. And of course, the leader in flashes and always supporting his team so well, the most vocal one. There are just so many ways that he takes his team on his shoulders.
A true legend of the game. And it does feel like also, at least in their last couple of matchups, there's been a world of difference between Fallen normally and Fallen once the opponent reaches map point.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he was their catalyst when it was 15-8 yesterday in favor of Downs.
And the night before against Team 1 as well.
That's true, yes.
He was multiple massive clutches to keep games close, to keep games in contention.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
And we talked about this as well, both times a pistol round that got them back into it.
Plot armor.
Well, paiN trying to put a chink in that armor. Again, favoring A ramp. Very slow and methodical play from paiN, but here come the smokes now. They will be pushing up. Biguzera having a peek. Molotov gets tossed right onto the site, and Fur is going to get blinded to oblivion. He's just trying to tuck himself in a corner and survive, but he can't. PKL finishes him off. Cello managed to take down Zevy, but look where Biguzera is. He's in the smoke, trying to slip on through. Fallen suspecting something might be going on. 18 seconds left, but the frags are good. Only Fallen left standing, who does manage to get one, but with 5 HP, trapped in a corner, there's only so much he can do. And now he's just looking for a second frag. He finds it, but he's immediately traded. Yeah.
How does he even read that? The processing speed so quick here. Fallen tenacious in those A holds, but the health just wasn't there this time around. So paiN will find the round. I mean, oh, they never feel like that was a straightforward A take. It was an effective A take. They get the positioning, they get the kills that are important, and yet still you somehow feel like it's not done until the Counter-Strike sings. The fat C4 sings, I guess would be the Counter-Strike term. It's more of a yell. A scream.
Yeah.
No, he plays the other game now. Fallen has found himself a nice deke shot. Triple boost, collects PKL early on. That gun might be in doubt, though Biguzera is going to try and keep it from their clutches. Still losing that ramp presence early on makes things a little bit easier for these pistol rounds. We've talked about it. Imperial in these improbable rounds and these clutch moments with the pistols. These have been the difference makers in the previous matchups, and Cello wants to make a difference here.
Bigu gets connected on for a bit of damage, down to 83 HP.
Just a touch.
Just a little bit. He's not too worse for the wear. He's going to hold his ground here. He's, in fact, the only one in this position for the time being. 3 players moving up the ramp. They will change that very quickly. Molotov gets tossed for cement, and Biguzera is going to look to the side hall to try and gain some space upwards. Zevy just waiting for some pushes to come through, flicking back and forth, his head on a swivel. Skullz needs to win this engagement. He gets, actually, Zevy gets the first one, and Skullz will find the second. That clears out a lot of space. They've got 2 more players to worry about.
And on the paiN side, I mean, they're so happy that this dynamic duo, this young squad, is stepping up. Skullz and Zevy, that's who they're looking to be the future. Cello! A blast from the past, but that's easy, perhaps. But it's all going to be left to Bolts, and this round should be done. Even his armor is probably worth saving into the next, so Bolts will back away. paiN, again, losing some bodies on these takes, but 4 rounds, closing the gap to 1. It's still working very nicely for paiN now that the guns have stabilized.
Yeah, and I mean, Imperial gambled on that one, forcing up, and it didn't pan out for them. So, I mean, obviously, like you said, important for Bolts to bring whatever he can out of this round, because they will not be buying into the next. Good job from paiN, though. You know, lost the first one. Got a little scary once you see the CZ frag come through from Cello, but every single time they had a player in position to get those all-important trades.
Remember, folks, hydration's important. Hydration check there.
It is.
John getting a drink right now. Stay hydrated. Know the game's exciting. So you might be sweating a little bit. It's important to replace fluids. But a 1-round lead and nothing really doing in this one means that we should see, being the operative word, a tied scoreline before you know it. Imperial not really going to be able to have much impact here, so they go for a little boost up in towards mid. Or is this just a boost up ramp? It's a boost up A ramp by the crane. Okay, Fur on top. He's up on the shoulders of his comrade, up on Fallen's shoulders. Speaking of dynamic duos, I mean, we saw the quote in the desk before the game. The history between those 2 players. The brotherhood they share. Truly an incredible thing.
Yeah.
Dunk grenade. Yeah, Skullz is collected.
All right, this one's over, as it's going to be paiN taking a 5th round and tying up the scoreline. But yeah, I mean, Fur has been statistically the best player. Sure, a little slower yesterday in terms of his fragging prowess, but overall leads the squad with excellent stats across the board. 1.38 impact, 85.8 ADR, and 187 frags over 8 maps played here at the IEM Road to Rio Americas. So he'll be a player they're looking towards again, and already, I mean, pretty much everyone is performing here so far on Vertigo for Imperial.
Yeah, it's early days. early days. Early kills for Skullz. Been effective here towards the B steps, and he'll do it once more. They're chasing, knowing a second player was there. The nades won't find home, as Bolts has been able to withdraw further back in towards the site, but this puts pressure onto Imperial early, and you can see the adjustment. Players flowed back in towards mid. It spreads the defense thin. Cello in the side hall is going to be a key piece, because it looks like paiN are going to try and take some space towards the A ramp. Fur wants to come into support, and Fur has the bulk of the utility, but I think it's going to be Cello who needs to do the most of the shoot, and if he goes down, if he gets dropped early, could be a problem. And recognizing that, let's just a bit back. That smoke spent now means that Fur is super vulnerable here at Cement if he sticks around. Molotovs threatening.
Yeah, he's going to move. You're right. He absolutely had to. And, well, he's going to support Cello. Maybe they're going to try a boost here a little late. No, they're going to back off. Play a more passive hold of this A site.
Retake's not a bad setup here. Problem is you just don't have the nades to get back through, so you certainly can't deny a bomb plant if the smokes come in. So they might want a little bit more of a fight. They'll adjust towards the side hall. They are going to bring the rifles to bear. The bodies are here for Imperial. Bolts is even starting to lean. So they're going to have a chance to make this fight. And paiN, once again, have run the clock down 30 seconds. They're making the move now. Who's going to be the first domino to fall? Lights on the spiraling out of control. 20 seconds. paiN really playing with the clock here. And now Cello strikes first. The second as well. It's all falling apart. It's unraveling for paiN here. They had the advantage from the jump, and they just did not take advantage of the time. Hard's out, the last survivor. Maybe he catches more. He'll find a kill, but he's out of clock. He's out of time, and they're not going to give him the fight.
No.
He cannot win this round. It's not possible. But can he live past the timer? No. No, he cannot.
It's even rougher there as Hard's out doesn't get the loss bonus, but great round.
Money.
He does, but still. Imperial able to strike back and get one on the board. They retake the lead here. And this is kind of what I was expecting off that frag from Skullz, and you kind of alluded to it, Mike, that they would take that space. It looked like they had some good utility thrown out. I think they had, you know, just every initiative to go for that site, but it didn't happen. For whatever reason, they backed off. They took way too long to get up the ramp, and Cello, once he gets that opener, just immediately swings around with Fur to do all the damage and neuter that hit for paiN. So, Imperial, looking good. The patience in their play here on Vertigo is paying off. And paiN, who can be very good at those quick pops, just falling away from one after finding an incredible entry. Either way, they're going to try this time to go a little faster. 1:22 on the clock, and they're already standing on the B site. Skullz, tip of the spear. Can he get the frag? He does. Flicks around to try and find a second around the ventilation shafts, but Vinny has tucked himself in for the time being. That said, a couple of frags go back here for Imperial right after the 5v3 kicks in, and then Zevy and PKL settle things down once more. Cello, last one standing.
Great response here from paiN. The last one came undone. Came off the rails. But immediate response.
If they had done that the previous round, I'm pretty sure they would have had the same result as they've had here. It was really quite strong. Even better in the previous round because you find the first over on the stairs.
Well, that's where the adjustment comes in. That's where the course correction comes in. You know, they're fans of the scientific method over on paiN. Hypothesis. Try said hypothesis. Rigorous experimentation. Iterate through. And identify the key component. And they have found it. It's B hits.
They have.
It's a secret sauce. It's the catalyst, one might say. And Imperial need to change up their defense a bit, perhaps, because they have been a bit exposed here, right? A few rounds where they've been caught off guard, where these entries up the B steps have just proved too strong for them to deal with. And well, a lot of it is about those young guns.
Yeah. If I'm paiN, I go for it again.
If at first you do succeed, just keep doing it.
Yes, until it stops working.
And with very little arrayed against them, just Cello's rifle to really worry about. They sort of have their pick of things. Mid-control for Big Uzera. Hard's out linking up with him as well. That's the way they want to take this fight. As soon as they find the AK, they should know, hey, this is the one spot on the map we probably don't want to hit. Bolts is a cheeky spot here. Tucked behind the cement bags by the mid-berm. Is he going to be revealed?
I think he'll be overlooked for a moment.
Vertigo checking it. No, not at all. 1 for 1, at least. Something out of that P250. about the best you can hope for, and I like the response from Vinny. Go forth. Problem is, they were there. I like the attempt, though. Not a bad idea. This round should be just about over. 2 AKs are retrieved. The second one picked up, so that's well worth saving into the next for Imperial.
Yeah,
they're gone.
Yeah, they have to get out of there with those AKs. Didn't invest much into the round. They'll make their buy a lot more potent in the next one, but paiN are going to take that lead out of their hands, 7-6.
I mean, here's the thing we were wondering for Imperial is what does their Vertigo actually look like? At least for now, the Vertigo CT side is super vanilla. They haven't really done much. They haven't really gone for much aggression.
No.
They haven't pushed into forklift ever. They haven't pushed down the B steps ever. They haven't gone for mid lurks ever. They've been kind of playing either 1-4, a 2-1-2, or the old 1-1-3 that we sort of expect. It's mostly just been very standard defaulty holds. Sometimes they've had success in the fights towards a ramp, but there hasn't really been anything consistently for them to build on. Consider, again, they won the pistol coming into this, and now paiN are in the lead. So we weren't expecting that much from Imperial, but there was a hope that it might have been a trap. A little joker slipped in there to catch teams up in the veto, and paiN said, no, we don't think they did that. Let's find out. Let's find out what they got.
I mean, they haven't looked bad either, right? They've been winning rounds. They got 6 on the board. Sure, it's not the best of CT sides. Here comes some aggression. Cello is going to get the headshot onto Big Azera, and now he's going to spam through the smoke, taking PKL down to 40. Unbeknownst to him, of course, nade flies through, and PKL just gets out of position in time in order to push up into scaffolding. The end result is the same, though, as Fallen riddles him with AK bullets. Hardzao spots out one, but can't do anything either. And this round should be all Imperial. Zevy might have something to say about that as he drops Fallen. The thing is, he takes so much damage, and it's a 4v2 that this feels very difficult for paiN to recover from.
Love it. Love it. Imperial makes things up. Very vanilla all the way through. Now they add a swirl of extra flavor. Aggression down the A ramp, and it's so well suited to the players who carry it out. Cello and Fur, right? Yep. They want to get right up in your face. They want to take the fight straight to you. They want to smack you in the jaw. That's exactly what's happened here. But paiN, well, they've still got 2 teeth left. Zevy and Skullz trying to work something. They can even find damage that might make Imperial more brittle for the last round. Zevy tucked in by cement. It's all going to be about Skullz. He's been so good. It's got to be better here. The lineup. Damage done. No. Can't catch it. Nades can't chase, and it's all over. Imperial find a 7 and set themselves up well for the final round of the half.
Finally showing a bit of aggression down that ramp, and it pays off in spades. They get 1 kill, they get half health on another player, and as soon as that other player tries to show themselves, well, Fallen is ready to take care of business. So 15th and final round, this one's going to be as close as it can possibly get. The question is, who walks into that second half with the 1-round edge? Will it be Imperial, who are trying to take this last dance all the way to the major, or paiN, who want to end their story, write the last page in that story, and move on?
Become the new heroes.
Yes.
I think they take Imperial's plot armor if they manage to defeat them here. Potentially headed into one more match. A reminder, this doesn't qualify a team. You win here, you got a battle complexity.
Yep, that's right.
You got a battle complexity for that last spot at the Rio Major, the first major ever on Brazilian home soil. Means so much to all 10 of the players in the server right now.
I mean, how can it not? Sold out crowds, right? Every single time that they have one. Zevy's going to get the opener here onto Bolts over top of the smoke. And now look at the damage. Yeah, done through the panel here. Cello and Fur down to 21 and 13 HP respectively. paiN don't know it yet, and it doesn't really matter because Big Azera is going to get one, but Fallen chimes in, drops Zevy, holds on to the ground that they have here at the A site for the time being, and will push paiN back in a bit of a reset.
The last time we saw this, they just held ramp to let time come in, and then they make their move through. And the thing is, Vinny holds the flank. Yeah. He is deep in, and now he's struck. Hardzao went back to take a look to see if they could rotate off, to see if they could bail. They can't anymore. It's about commitment now. Vinny holding them in. And Fallen and Cello to construct the defense. paiN's going to have to move. This first pick, maybe everything. Cello watching for it. Doesn't have a lot of health, but he just needs to land some bullets.
Use that smoke.
Here it comes. They're going to get the space. They're going to get the ground. Spam through. Ineffective. Bomb being planted. That won't be denied. It will! Oh! No one was watching. Fallen slipped out. He'll be put down to the ground. And now all into the clutch for Vinny. The B site anchor has to make it happen here towards A. The bomb will be planted. And a 1v2 required of Vinny, but he'll go forth for the first immediately. Vinny and PKL A duel to the death on either side. And then he puts some more time in this one. He has the kit, so he's a bit to work with. Adjusting his angle of approach, but PKL on the lineup can't zero it in. Vinny will take the final round through for Imperial. A slim lead here, John, as we head to the half. Imperial keep it close here on Vertigo just when it looked like the map was spinning out of control, but now they have to prove something to us and the fans at home that they do in fact have a Vertigo T side.
Yes, and that's a lot tougher than your CT side for sure. We'll see what they can do, what strategies they've got up their sleeves, and perhaps they will show that Vertigo was indeed their ace in the hole.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
paiN, meanwhile, I mean, considering they dropped a pistol, this is a very nice scoreline to be headed out of the half. They'd like to get things started here and not have to do it the difficult way. Split the pistols, see what we got. Looks like we might get some early B play. Presence down the steps on this round at the very least. Fur holding back for mid aggression. They're just going to leave players towards the periphery and see if any aggression comes through from paiN. Can't imagine it's going to be given, but at least for the moment, paiN seem content to sit and let this play develop. A trio mid setup here for paiN. That's the bulk of the presence for the CTs, and now, having detected something, Zevy will fall away. Perhaps call to a teammate to join him. No? All right, that was just a little bit of face shown, and paiN haven't flinched based on it. They're going up the ladder. This might play exactly into paiN's hands.
Good. Imperial. Moving up as a unit here. Fer going to join them as they go for this mid control. One player at the stairs, so that'll be the pincer attack as they try to get onto B.
This is the read for paiN.
It's so, yeah, I mean, you got 3 players at mid. This is going to be very difficult. Literally just have to fight your way out of it. And if anyone can, it's Imperial. Cello going to get one, but Biguzera gets only one as well. It's even trades, Mike. 2v2. Zevy and Skullz still trying to connect. That is huge for Zevy. The bomb goes down. So does Fallen, and Vinny, the last player standing, is trying to work his way from the B side back to the bomb. Connects on the Skullz, takes him down to 10 HP, but Skullz manages to evade his fire.
It's once again left to the young guns, and Zevy will deliver.
That feels good.
Stepping up in a big way. The new face of paiN, the new name for paiN, perhaps the new name for Brazilian CS, and he gets it done in the pistol.
Oh, wow. I mean, that has to feel good for Zevy. The 3K comes through. It was a scary moment because Imperial, honestly, were doing a great job finding those trades, fighting back on what was effectively the stack for paiN, but at the end of the day, they just lose too many bodies, and then you have one player, Vinny, trying to fight his way through the site, back to the bomb, almost gets that all-important frag to make it a 1v1, but just barely misses it, and well, Counter-Strike can be a game of inches.
Interesting timing to take the first time out here. That came through from paiN. You wouldn't necessarily expect it coming off of a pistol, but without a bomb plant as well, that's an interesting choice. I guess the idea here is to make sure they have their economy right. It came right down to the wire, and they know that this next round is so important to building an early CT side. But it's just Glocks on the other side. A single P250, I think. I can't imagine there's a ton of danger in this, but Imperial, they defy imagination.
We don't know. We almost saw a Glock round work out yesterday. I don't know if it was in that matchup in particular, but still. Anything can happen with these pistols. 1:30 left on the clock. Skullz, he's got a chance to punish.
He didn't see him.
Such a big way.
He didn't see him. Didn't spot the boost. Now he does. 1 found. 2 found. All right, Skullz. All the information. Calling a teammate over. Hardzout's going to come into support, but Skullz early on just does the damage himself. Was a bit overzealous for Hardzout. Cello finding something. And with an MP9 now, he's looking to maybe get a backstab in, but PKL will keep that from getting interesting.
That's very tough. Walking in with pistols to 2 MP9s, they'll just grind you up pretty much every single day of the week. And paiN Gaming are back in the lead here, 9-8. Here comes the true test for Imperial's T side. The guns are out. What do they have in store? It will be pretty much full utility, a little light on bolts and Vinny, but they've got enough to show us what they're made of.
That they do. And at least right now what they're made of is only for mid-push, maybe setting up towards a ramp. Straightforward, traditional A-ramp take. Seems to be the way. Early aggression is punished. PKL wanted the info, and Fer is just going to rip too. That's beautifully done. Now the rotation has to come in. They are on the scene, but a flashbang catches Zevy, and this one's looking over for paiN. Hardzout gone. I mean, I was going to say you might even need to withdraw from that point on, but this one's just a shutdown coming through. The guns come out, and Imperial impose their will.
Perfect example of why Fer has been taking those entries for Imperial throughout the road to Rio more than a quarter of the time, with a success rate of 58.1%. He is just so good opening up that space. Makes the 2K look easy, and it wasn't. As Skullz will be the last one standing here and just trying to save the A1S. What an explosive take. I was about to say, hey, Imperial haven't really gone for a very quick take. Maybe they should, and well, they did exactly that.
Right off the rip, first gun round of the half. So at least the 1A1S can be saved through. But you'd imagine this is going to send them into a half buy, and considering they just took a timeout not too long ago. That one's not encouraging if you're on paiN. Maybe the doubt starts to seep into your mind. Imperial, we know how tenacious they can be, and if first fired up, having found his 15th kill here already. It's a dangerous customer. Very dangerous customer indeed. It is a forced buy-in from paiN. They will invest here. They're going to go for a heavy lean in towards B. It's a boost up by the A ramp. Trying to catch a player over by the scaffolding. But, at least as of yet, nothing has been revealed to them. Biguzera, looking for this poke through, looking for this first check. Cello may give it to him. Oh, so patient on this boost. Eventually, they'll have to give it up. Presence is starting to be felt here. And Imperial, having not seen anything, have to be going through their checklist of where these could be held. Cello. Just keeping them at bay. And there's finally the payoff. Finally, the deliverance. Damage even through onto Fallen. And a first kill found for paiN. Patience pays off.
Fur looking for a response very quickly here. The boost is still on, and Biguzera strikes again. Bolt goes down 5v3 in favor of paiN. Fur again hangs around too long. Biguzera's good for a third, and Fallen and Vinny, well, there's not much more that they can really do into this one unless they find a frag very quickly, because time is quickly going against them. There's one and a second. Vinny delivers, looking for the third, and Zevy gets tagged down to 74. Doesn't need to peek again, but he continues the challenge, and now Fallen's found PKL. How on earth does this fall apart for paiN? A 5v2. Vinny looking for another punish, and he finds it! A 3K, and Fallen gets the last! What a recovery from Imperial!
An epic collapse from paiN. They had a 5v2. There was no need to fight, and they gave them duel after duel, and Vinny made good. That should have been a hopeless situation. That should have been disastrous for Imperial. Instead, it's a triumph. Oh, they are going to be feeling the sting of that loss for a while, our paiN, but they need to regain immediately, because that's the kind of round that can end a map. Imperial with a dagger.
You just need a tuck.
Just needed to tuck, but they could do no such thing. And now Cello just needs an ace.
Okay.
Clean as can be. He's just getting some aim warm up in here.
Casual ace on the anti-eco. And wow, I mean, that was a collapse from paiN defensively. I mean,
epically. Even in that situation of 5v2, once you know the positions, no one's developing a flank. There's nothing down mid. They're just trying to go for the straightforward fight. But if you do that, just tuck in defense. You have the numbers. You have the overwhelm. They let them off the hook. They had them. They had him, and they let him off. But now's the round where they can correct it. We've seen paiN adjust and correct for their mistakes so far. Zevy has a chance to do exactly that. He hears them coming in towards B. It's a faster play. Zevy in spawn. He's going to get overwhelmed. Uh-oh, wasn't prepared for them to be quite that quick. And now his teammates towards the B plat. They're going to be in trouble. Skullz needs to step up. Biguzera's gone down. There's options available for Imperial, and there's just nothing doing for paiN. They're starting to fall apart here. The pinster will be on for Hardzao, and they don't even need it. The site players are enough. PKL overwhelmed. Nothing doing there, and all of the energy is flowing for Imperial. The noise is ringing through the halls here of the IEM Road to Rio.
That 2v5 was a stark momentum shifter, Mike. And I mean, you saw the energy it brought to the Imperial side. Not often will they make that much noise across the board, and everyone was pumped up again here, getting that 12th. I think the turning point has already occurred here, but we'll have to see what paiN talk about in this timeout. How can they adjust?
There's many more chances to turn.
I don't know.
Twists and turns.
I don't know.
Many more chances to regain for paiN, and that's exactly what they're looking for here.
You just want your pick to be right, Mike.
No, I just want interesting CS, John. You're just an instant doomer. Anytime someone gets a lead, John's like, well, it's over. Game's done. They're going to win now.
That is completely false.
There's a lot of Counter-Strike to play here,
false,
John.
Mike. That is false in every way. Go listen to every broadcast.
A lot of Counter-Strike to play here. And Imperial, they're doing a great job of it. Oof. They know.
Yeah,
they know how close they are. They've made it to the last day of this event, but they're not guaranteed a thing. These legends of the game. You can't let it end here.
No, certainly not.
Eagles are out. PK up, Hards out. Skullz will all have the one-shot headshot machine. At least for now, Imperial posture towards the A ramp.
Really like the way Imperial are mixing things up. They go for a fast pop and then slow it down, and it's been back and forth. paiN only with pistols into this round, but those 3 deagles could sing. 105 and Fur along with Cello are going to take the space into scaffolding. Likely into that side hall. PKL could be exposed here should they peek around that corner, and well, they don't in time, so PKL is able to at least retreat to safety, staying alive for the time being. Can't connect on his deagle shots towards side hall. Cello takes the space, and that's the A site, very vulnerable.
Bomb plant should be just about a sure thing. Plenty of utility to provide cover. Pistols out of position. Really not a lot to do here. There are 2 sets of armor. Might even be worth keeping those alive into the next. And yeah, we are going to see paiN withdraw. Well, not fast enough. Goodbye armor. Goodbye everything. Bomb is down, and Imperial look to lock in round 13. This is on paiN's map pick. This is on a round where we thought the strat book might be pretty shallow. And frankly, I mean, at least so far, it hasn't been particularly deep.
No.
They've been going for very straightforward plays. They've just been working.
It's just shots are hitting. It's just simple plays, and their shots are hitting, and they're getting ridiculous clutches from Vinny in a 2v5.
Yes. That certainly does help. The confidence flows now. The entries have been on point, and
there's one. Gun?
An empty frag. A meaningless frag in that one. But hey, maybe a confidence builder for Zevy. He's been good. They need him to be great if they're going to get back into this game. Investment will come back in. He's got the op. He's got the op. This could be the difference maker. How do they deploy Zevy to take control here? Because they need to take control. paiN have to seize the initiative on this round, or we could be thinking about map 2 before you know it.
This is likely it for them. No question.
I will say, though, last time they met, paiN actually did manage to win out Overpass in overtime in Melbourne. So that's not a sure thing.
Yeah, it was a final, so a lot on the line there, but I feel like qualifying for the major is a whole nother level, Mike, and we'll see if paiN can do that, repeat history, or if Imperial can continue on. Let's start here with Vertigo, of course. It's not over yet. Big Uzera is going to get tagged down to 46, and Skullz down to 12. Wow, he is on notice here, and Vinny's right next to him. Vinny will go down first. All right, loses the duel, but Cello gets the immediate trade, which is going to help. The thing is, where are Imperial going to end up? Bolt's trying to work his way up the stairs. Skullz on notice at 12 HP. Some spam through the danger panel could be his undoing if Boltz takes the right angle here. And now he's got reinforcements coming in. The hit will be B, no question.
Yep, Hards out right behind him. A smoke to give some preemptive cover, but it's... well, actually not too late. In the nick of time. 50 seconds. That might slow down the approach, but Imperial are going to take advantage. They want to boost over it. Look at this. paiN have just dropped the smoke and left. And Boltz is peering over this saying, guys, I don't see anyone. Site's been left vacant. We could just roll on through.
You gotta go with that info.
Hearing this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Little bit too little. Too late, perhaps. Back on the angle. Now they know where he's at. Now they know they've got the site, having spotted the player coming over from mid. But Hardzao will at least get a critical kill to keep this retake a very distinct possibility. They don't have the util. They just have flashes to get over the line. It's gonna have to be a gunfight to get them out. Skullz will get the AWP, low HP as he is. And now Zevy may have to do the brunt of the work with the rifle. In they go, working together. Boltz can't zero that in. Fallen traded by the no-scope, the low HP player. Now zones out the steps. And that could be it. Fur can't get on to stop the defuse. He is dropped. A recovery there for paiN when things were looking dire. They stay calm.
Just that moment of hesitation from Imperial, right? When they were trying to get to that B side. Had they gone a little faster, they would have had a much cleaner take of B and maybe able to position themselves up a little bit stronger, even though they did have time, but still they were spotted out. Information was gained by that point since paiN were making a readjustment. So good job by them. They keep hope alive here on Vertigo by hitting double digits and getting that 10th. Great work from Hardzao, honestly, on the retake.
And Skullz, I mean, low HP, right? Still playing fearless.
Yep.
B is his domain. It's been his domain through both halves. Okay, goodbye, Zevy. The op is the domain of Fallen. And he's not ready to yield the crown. He's not ready to give up his seat or his scepter. So paiN already down a man. Imperial keeping this so very tight.
Yep.
And, I mean, they've gained so much presence in towards ramp. You can see paiN are withdrawing further in towards the site. Biguzera may be sticking around, but they don't have the util to stay here forever. Double push into mid. This is the response. Bolts is holding forward. Is he going to capitalize? Not quite. And he's down for the count. But they spotted 2.
Yeah.
That's just going to coax Imperial further in towards the A site, and they've got this space. Biguzera, the only one to hold, the only one who's close.
Yeah.
And he'll make good on it.
I'm surprised Cello peeks around that corner before the smoke blooms. I guess he was just trying to catch a player off guard, but it doesn't work out in his favor. Will be a bomb plant for Imperial.
Smoke. Gap and smoke just for a test this. No, he sees it. Doesn't want to give them the chance. If he comes into the angle eventually on this fade, this duel could be huge. And there it is. Fur wins it out there. Now they know he's forced into the corner. He can't quite escape. He's paneling. It's enough to keep him alive for one more. A 2-on-2 in the post. No smokes. Only one, rather. The kick can be retrieved. That's not an issue. But the fights are. Get picked up. Vinny holds the line only for one. They need to get that defuse on. The smoke won't cover it. And Fallen will bring round 14 to Imperial.
I mean, even the smokes can't stop Fallen when he's trying to take down an attempted defuse. And when he's got no smoke to worry about and a clean shot with the op, he's not going to miss from that position very often. And there you have it. Imperial isolate the round victory for paiN. Make it 14-10, and there is still enough money in paiN's bank accounts to get 4 A1Ss and the FAMAS utility, about the half, the usual that they usually have, but we'll have to see if that's enough here to fend off Imperial, who continue to throw these change-up pitches, going from slow play in that round a little bit faster, and now Skullz immediately drops Vinny. That's an excellent start for paiN, as now they can choose for a more passive approach, but it looks like PKL wants to take the fight to Imperial. Flashbang is thrown. He knows someone is lurking around here. Cello gets tagged down to 72, and it might be enough for him to fall back and look at Hard's out spot. Great flashbang thrown, though, and Fur cannot capitalize on it, but does toss a nade trying to do a little more damage. Successful in that, but as it stands, still a bit of a stalemate with a slight advantage in favor of paiN.
Down the ladder they go. Down the ladder they move. And now Skullz holds the line. Oh, he's going to hear that noise. Was hoping they would come into his crosshair, but at least some information gained. Some information garnered that somebody else was sticking close at hand, so his teammates can maybe breathe easy for a moment. An attempted boost up over the ramp smoke. But it seems like they might bring their focus in towards B. This Molotov's going to try and make players uncomfortable. Skullz is exactly that. He'll still do damage, but no kill. And Hard's out forced into the fight, gives himself up as well. They want to take this space. Fallen risking health to do so, knowing that this is his moment to get in towards the site, but does he realize they've already crossed?
Cello's covering.
Ooh, Cello will make it fine. Free and clear. Because the health is so low. If there were nades on the CT side, who knows what could have happened, but that's not going to be the case. Piku, though, will get it done with the guns. Dodging up bullets left, right, and center. It's all on to Bolts, and his HE is not enough to keep him off of a defuse. It's all about the gun here for Bolts. Kit's not there. They don't have it. Should be down somewhere towards the site, but for now, they'll try and fight forward, and Bolts is just trying to buy time. A tap on the defuse means and he has to come through, and now they know his position, but his shot is good. PKL, just enough. Time for the defuse. Another round for paiN. They keep it going here on Vertigo.
Hanging in there, hanging around in this map. And 11th round will keep things close at least, but problem is they lost 4 players, so their economy is going to be in a bit of a tough spot. We'll see if they'll be able to get the proper buy. Even in that round, didn't have full util. And again here, that's going to be the case. They'll probably have to settle for an MP9 or perhaps a FAMAS just to get more utility in play.
Timeout taken by paiN to figure out the math. Do a little arithmetic. Settle their debts. And for Rix to call the strat, knowing that this is the round, you could see the tension on his face.
Oh yeah, pacing back and forth.
He knows what this round means. I know this is the moment for them to take control of their own map pick, for them to secure things here on Vertigo. It's been a battle back in both halves for paiN. Let's see if they've got one more. Looks like this might be fast control towards A. The pacier rounds from Imperial have been effective. But a smoke down means that they'll hold for the moment. They're boosted up to try and peer over it. Here comes the look. Here comes the spam. Cello's gaining space. He's gaining ground. He might be able to punch these players out towards Crane. Oh, not quite. Both players surviving. A dink on the Cello means he is so low. If there were an HE, he'd be in trouble. But a Molotov instead will force him back and rebuff this initial push from Imperial.
Yeah, that incendiary was really well timed from PKL because it prevented Imperial from throwing one right back in his direction. So he's safe for a little bit longer at Cement. Eventually, they're going to toss the incendiary.
They burned all their nades.
They're going to toss a nade first. Yeah, there's not much util left. I was surprised that paiN didn't opt for more util into this round. But hey, look, if you're hitting shots like that, it doesn't really matter. Falling going to go down. Cello's already on notice at 8 HP, so Imperial a little more hesitant to go for more space here on the A site. And look at paiN. They are heavily shifting their forces towards A now. And PKL wants a peek around this corner. But a smoke guides off his vision for the time being. He's still pushing up, still looking for some legs, something ahead to pop off, and it's not going to happen just yet, but the bullets keep raining on through here, Mike, and there is Zevy connecting for a second. Fur taken down to 7 HP. This looks almost hopeless for Imperial in this round.
Imperial still have a Molotov. They can regain, they can adjust, they can calm down, and Vinny finding a kill might just help relieve a bit of that pressure. He takes out Big Zero, so they don't have to worry about Cement, but you're right, 20 seconds. They've got no clock to spare. They're running out of moments to actually get this bomb planted and down. So they'll make one last desperate stab here. But right around the corner they go. It's dropped on down. At this point, Fair just has to save. He's backing away. He's trying to creep off to keep this AK up. It's going to be a 12th round for paiN. Now, there is still bank here for Imperial, but the last few have seen them stymied, stumped. And here's where we ask the question we wondered going into this map. When your first strat doesn't work, how many more do you have to go to?
Yep. How deep are your pockets?
For now, it's been sort of variations on the same strat, just with pace, and that's enormously effective for a T-side on Vertigo. It certainly can be, but now that the util stabilized for paiN, they have a lot more tools to slow down those pacier plays. You saw them dump nades early in the last round. Okay, and now we're going to dump PKL right off the rip in this. He's gone for that peak many a time, and Fallen this time was prepared to catch.
Yep, second time he's caught that, and that will give Imperial the early lead here into this round, and they're trying to force the issue. They got the util tossed on over, trying to deny some space into the side hall and let Fur have his way there, but it's back and forth on the Molotovs. Fur has to be careful. Look who's lurking. It's Zevy, who was key in that previous round with a 2K. The first one coming from exactly this spot. And oh, he sees a jiggle peek and decides, you know what, I don't really want to challenge that. Movement was a little bit off, so he decides to push back towards the site proper instead. 3 players are waiting here, and Cello indeed is going to find that frag onto Bigu. Fur drops hard Zao. Zevy and Skullz, all hope lies on their shoulders. Zevy has been good. Can he be great?
It's all falling apart here. It's all falling apart. And here's the problem. They need the guns. They need the guns. You're in a 2v5. You need to get away, and Zevy can do no such thing. A hail of bullets and util will keep him down. Skullz, the lone survivor. Map point will be the prize for Imperial, and a paiN gaming squad with a shattered eco is going to have to try and battle for overtime.
Yeah, going to the next round, they might be able to get another A1S up. You have to imagine it's going to be mostly pistols and SMGs. Whew, that was a really good round from Imperial. It all starts with who else but Fallen getting the entry with the op, and then Fur took over. It's down to this, 15-12 in favor of Imperial, who are trying to steal away paiN's map pick and go on to theirs of Overpass, which has been very, very solid for them.
Timeout will burn for paiN, their last. This is the last attempt to halt a dance that just keeps continuing.
Keep dancing. No one can stop that music from playing.
So, Imperial, always battling back against the odds, never counted out of a map. Now they can close this one and actually give their fans some comfort. No overtimes needed, no comebacks needed. Maybe just a straightforward victory. Unless a broken bye with Deagles out for paiN can give them a run for their money. We've seen it happen before.
particularly for Imperial.
Let's see if we've got the magic again here, but this time for paiN. Presence towards the B steps early. Looks like they want to bring the pressure, and the rifles are here. Skullz and Zevy are reinforced, and it's Skullz in the back of sight who could be the hurdle for them to overcome. Hartzau wants to go looking early. He does have a smoke, though. They don't want to waste that. Don't want to burn that early. Tucked up on the danger panel. At least for now, Imperial did not find the look they were looking for, so they back away.
Yeah, I think might have just been trying to attract attention towards the B site for the time being. And the actual hit might go towards A. But as it stands, you still have PKL here with one of 3 A1Ss. Utility is still available for paiN, and they're going to use it here. A smoke going to get tossed for the bottom of ramp. Absolutely need to slow down the pace of play as Imperial are trying to take this space once more. Nade's going to come in, and not too much damage. Cello only goes down to 79. Everyone else is still relatively healthy.
A lot rides on PKL in the smoke fade.
Yes, absolutely.
He's not had the best of luck here with the aggressive looks down A ramp. Here's the check, and turning away at the wrong moment. That's Cello to find it. An opener found. One of the precious few A1Ss now out of the reach of paiN. That's going to give a lot of space towards ramp. Put the boogie man in their minds. 3 players here in the defense, but Imperial aren't moving just yet. They're toying with their food. 20 seconds, John. They're moving into mid. This is not something we've seen from Imperial on the T side yet. This is a change-up, and with 15 seconds, all it's going to take is a bit of a fumble, and, well, they could run out of time.
No fumble yet.
Going into B, there is a pinch here. Do they drop the bomb? 8 seconds.
There it is.
The bomb is down. They can't win this round. They cannot win this round on the time. This is madness here. Fallen is going to have to give it up, and Imperial just completely fumble the management of the clock in this round.
They just took way too long, and not only that, they chose the wrong bomb site to go to because everyone was left was waiting there to greet them as they walked in, and the bomb gets dropped, and with only 8 seconds left to go for that execute, it's enough.
These are some of the head-scratching moments we've seen. It caught them on Inferno a little bit. A few rounds where the clock were their enemy unnecessarily. Here, though, it's a map where they're less practiced, less battle-hardened, and so when they make that late call, they don't realize, you know, we don't actually have enough time to make it through. I'm not even sure if there was a B player, or if there was no B player, rather, that Imperial would have had the time. All it would take is a bit of fumbled movement, and that's what we saw.
Yep.
Movement was fumbled by bullets, but, you know, same effect. It's a salvation for paiN. It's a breath, a chance to fight into this one, a gift given over from this Imperial squad, and, well, for their sake, they're hoping they're not too generous today.
Yeah, let's see if it's the gift that keeps on giving, or if they'll be the ones to snatch away victory from the hands of paiN. 15-13, still 2 opportunities to close this one on regulation for Imperial. And you see paiN, 2 players right out in the open at the top of ramp. A risky position to hold, but they are playing for the trade right now. Zevy going to go for the spam. Cello gets the opener. PKL, there's that trade. And then 2 more come through. Hartzau is good for the 4th for his squad. And Vinny is the last one standing. Does he have it in him again? He already got a 3K in a very tough situation before from exactly this spot. And now he's going to have to do it again to try and close out the map. Needs one to kick things off here. But so far, paiN this time are not making the same mistake they made before. They are tucking behind cover and not revealing their positions, at least not yet. Molotov comes in. Vinny going to plant that bomb, and that will be his undoing. Zevy finishes him off 15-14. We are going the full 30.
One more round. The noise is now all on the side of paiN, and concentration crosses the brows of Imperial. They know this was theirs. This was their opportunity, but the oldest foe they've ever faced, Father Time, undid them in the last. And now they fumble the next. One more chance to close this in regulation, to keep themselves out of overtime, to keep their fans' heart rates at a stable level. But the tension is starting to build here, and, well, if you've been following Imperial this far, you're probably already well practiced at some breathing exercises, because they do like some pulse pounders.
They do like some overtimes, Mike. 3 of them already. One on Nuke against 9Z, lost that one 20-22. Then against Team 1, lost on Inferno 16-19. But finally were victorious yesterday in OT. Took 2 against Nouns to win 22-18. Not there yet. And they still got a decent buy-up, but the utility is so very light here.
They're not going to be able to make the patient play. When they decide to hit, that's all the nades they're going to have. The execution is going to have to be everything. Over the smoke is one. PKL collects. The boost up is punished, and PKL even gets away scot-free, but Big Luzera, not so much. A look-see down the ramp may actually give a gun over. Indeed it does. Cello reinforced.
Nade.
This could be a bit rough.
Nothing.
Nade finds nothing. Imperial will stall out on the ramp for a bit to see if anyone else from paiN's feeling curious. But at least for now, it seems the players will content themselves with spreading out back into a more stable defense. They actually shift way off of ramp, anticipating maybe that late mid play we saw from Imperial before, and they put responsibility on Zevy to hold on. He's a little exposed.
Yeah, very.
Just wanted to peek into the side hall, sees nothing, so information gained at least for the moment. But with 45 seconds, Imperial going to have to make their move. One Molotov, two smokes, a single flash, and a decoy.
Have to be perfectly thrown.
The decoy? We'll see.
Not the decoy, but everything else.
Smokes over. They've been committed. So that's all they've got. And at this point, if the bomb plant gets caught, Zevy's looking for that, but he's not on. Bomb is going down. Fallen gets away with that one. Imperial now have the time on their side for once. A 4-on-4. And the utility is gone, so it's down to the guns. The smokes will clear, and the fight is on. The lineup's there for Fallen. 1 for 1 he goes. Down to the 3-on-3. paiN will regain to throw one more smoke to give themselves one more bit of space to make the move on through, but they've got to go.
Smoke on the bomb.
They've got to go. A smoke on the bomb, indeed, to get a player onto the defuse. A kit is available. That'll be Skullz, but a bullet will take him off of it, and Cello finds another, all down to Hardzao. It's falling apart at the final hurdle. He'll try for the defuse, but the bullets will find him, and Imperial close it out in regulation for once. Imperial move up 1-0. One more step towards Rio.
They had to make it a nail-biter, Mike, but they do close it out in regulation at the end. We move on to one of their best maps so far here at the Road to Rio. Overpass in just a bit.